So we met back in high school when we were 16 years old. So this year is pretty special because we are 32, so which means that we are together for like half of our life. So of course we were in the same class in high school, and in Vietnam the whole class would stay the same for 3 years. And so at first he was sitting with the guys, I don't remember, but I was sitting with another girl. But then in our 11th grade, I had a fight with my my table mate.
Oh no.
So, and Leon was the only one who is sitting alone.
Oh, okay.
So I had no choice but to move. Yeah, and it started then.
Wow. So what was your study after high school? What did you do?
So we went to Japan together to have our undergraduate education.
Right.
It was at a university in the south of Japan. Okay. And after that, we both went to Australia together for our graduate degree.
What an adventure.
Yeah.
And where were you in Australia?
Canberra, studying at the National University of Australia.
Okay.
We both study business. So Leon's major was finance, accounting, and I was studying marketing.
Okay. So did your cooking continue as a hobby while you were studying, and how did it progress?
So it started with a very small idea, but at that time I told Leon that it could be big one day. I don't know why I said that, but it is maybe my gut feeling.
Okay.
I started a food blog.
Oh, a food blog.
So,
okay.
Back at that time, blogging was very on trend. We had Yahoo 360.
Yahoo 360.
So everyone was starting a blog, and
just like now, everyone's starting a podcast.
Yeah, I think so. But my point of cooking was that there are so many food in Japan that I miss, like Vietnamese food.
I see.
And I'm the only one who can cook what I want.
Oh, so you started preparing Vietnamese foods that you missed while you were in Japan.
Yes.
And did they become influenced a little bit by the Japanese cooking as well?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
So at that time I cooked whatever that I want to eat.
Yes.
So it could be Vietnamese, but it could also be Japanese food or Italian, like anything.
So it naturally became a kind of fusion, a natural fusion.
Yes.
Through your life. Okay, great. And Leon, your family has a long history with food as well, right?
Yes. Farming more exactly.
Yes.
So
okay.
I recently found out a very interesting piece of knowledge.
Okay.
Is that my family on my mom's side has been farmers here in Danang for 17 generations. Yeah.
But it's like as far back as you can
remember, right? So back to
I think the 17th century.
17th century. Yeah. Okay. Wow, that's amazing. Your grandmother had a huge influence on you as well, right?
Yeah. I mean, she is a very hardcore farmer. So basically, I grew up on a farm.
Okay.
And my surrounding was rice and orchards and onions and stuff like that.
So you must have had a really healthy diet as a child.
Yeah, you can say so.
Really, really natural, pure. Yeah. What everyone now is trying to find, but you had it. Wow, wonderful.
I think that most of the older people in Vietnam think that way.
I see. Okay. Yeah.
It's very fundamental. Like food should be, healthy and
right.
It's beneficial to your health. So
right. So did you enjoy cooking growing up?
Not really.
Not really? No.
No.
Okay.
Like
and do you
I
enjoy it
eating.
now? Yeah, you're like me.
So my job, one of my job here at Nén is to assist Summer in creating dishes. So I actually can't cook, but I read a lot about different types of cuisine and I give her ideas.
Sure.
And he has very good taste.
Yeah.
There's more with
And
you.
he can suffer my experiments.
Yeah, experiments.
Yeah.
That must be huge.
That's what I do.
Yeah, with such a refined menu, it must take a lot of work and trying different
Yes.
things over time. Let's see. So when did you decide to open Nén? When did you decide to open this restaurant?
About 1 year before we actually opened it in 2014,
No, I think we opened in 2017, right? So
2016.
2016.
2016.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 years now. And you had the idea to create a restaurant that is hyper local, right? What do you mean by hyper local?
It means that it's an experience that is made from everything local,
Everything local.
including the staff, the ingredients, the stories.
Right. And the Nén is a hybrid, a very unique hybrid between a garlic and a shallot
Yes,
that is local here, right?
it is very local, and even Vietnamese from other cities, apart from central Vietnam, may not know about it.
Okay, so it's very specific to the Da Nang area.
But if you're from the central, you will know.
You will know.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. Tell me about how you source your ingredients.
Interesting. We try to work with the local suppliers, thanks to Leon's mom, because his family has been here for a long time,
Right.
and his mom is a passionate
Forager.
Forager.
Yes.
Oh,
she's
excellent.
not really keen on eating,
Okay.
but she's crazy about finding local stuff to give away.
Wow, wonderful.
Yes.
So she goes out walking and finds.
No, every year she would take a lot of road trips.
Oh, wow.
To exotic places in Vietnam.
Mm.
Collect all their special, unique ingredients, bring back,
Yes.
and give it away to her friends.
Wow, that's wonderful.
So an example would be the last New Year holiday.
Yes.
So we all went to the mountain to stay with local minority people there
Yes.
for one night, and we got a lot of different knowledge.
Wow.
We got a special
Yeah.
type of rice they use, special types of pepper,
Excellent.
and yeah, we can't wait to actually use them in the menu.
So actually, that's how we source our ingredients, because she has been doing that for her whole life. So she knows a lot of people.
Wow.
So if say, Mom, I need some duck like this, she will know where to get it.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing. She has a network that's
Yes.
just
Yeah,
naturally
yeah, yeah.
from her life.
Yeah.
So that is truly what makes it so local.
Yes.
And you couldn't replace that. You couldn't replicate it. It's just something that has happened, and
Yeah.
she has knowledge that's been passed down for so long as well, right?
Yeah.
And we also grow ourselves. So we have a small farm on the rooftop, so we
Yeah.
can grow all the herbs and flowers.
Okay, so you're growing it on your own rooftop, and then everything else comes from local farmers, small-scale farmers,
Yeah.
and the connections are so local, and just you won't find it on Facebook or WhatsApp or whatever. It's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
got it. Wow, that's amazing and truly a unique experience. The small-scale farming here is part of what makes it a great place to cycle as well. And I was curious. So when there's been a lot of discussion about how tourism will be different after the COVID pandemic,
Yes.
because it's clear that sometime things will come back. We're not sure when, but things will be different somehow.
Yes.
And it's we just have to try and shape how it will be and how it will be better, right? So what do you think needs to happen here in Da Nang for tourism to be better and maybe kinder to the local traditions or cultures, environment? Any thoughts on that?
Oh, very nice.
For
Let me
me,
think a
I
little bit.
think not just for Da Nang, but for the whole world. I think people are forced to really go back to our place of birth, to our home, and
Yes.
we are forced to explore what's surrounding us.
Right.
And realize that there's so much potential in wherever that you live.
Right.
Yeah, and
That's something we can
even
easily
the
forget.
food or the people and the scenery, everything.
Mhm.
And I think that should be the trend for not only Da Nang, but not only the food industry,
Yes.
F&B, but like everything.
Right, yeah. And I think what's made our bike trips here so amazing is that existing embrace of the local food like your mother has. And here in Da Nang, I bike around the neighborhoods and there are community gardens still in the middle of the city,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And I think that's part of what's also made it Vietnam resilient during the pandemic, even though, of course, it's been hit hard by tourism loss. But there's that existing foundation
Right.
where like and you can go back to that quite comfortably, right?
It's like we don't need much to survive.
Right, when you come right down to
if
it.
anything happens, we just farm and then we have food to eat. And
Exactly,
yeah.
that living tradition.
Yes, yes.
And that's what made the tourism so successful here in the first place, right? So kind of embracing rather than replacing the local existing economy. And yeah, because in places where the monoculture has come and the large scale farming, it becomes less fun for us to bike as well. And that just goes hand in hand with the small farmers. Usually it's great to bike because there's always something. It's so rich in culture and it's just beautiful.
So on that, I have a perspective.
Yes.
When we first started Nén, because there was nothing like this before us.
Right.
So my point of view regarding cuisine or fine cuisine
Yes.
at that point was that, right, everybody referenced the French, right? French cuisine.
Of course.
Yeah. So in the first period of Nén, like before COVID,
Right.
for me personally,
Yes.
I can't speak for someone, but for me, I want to follow or imitate the French to a certain extent. But after this, my whole perspective changed. I started to see beauty in whatever we are doing and we're serving, no
Right.
matter how rough and how crude it is.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So it's just an entirely different type of beauty,
Right,
and,
right.
And cuisine.
it's just
yeah.
changed all our paradigms. and
Actually, that
Yeah.
was my intention from the beginning.
Mhm.
What I learned from COVID is just to believe more in that kind of vision.
Okay, yeah.
And really see that this is
It was always your instinct. I
Yes,
think
yes.
a lot of us had that voice in our head the whole time, and we would kind of cringe at certain things and say, "Oh, I wish it wasn't." But now we have no choice.
Yeah.
And we're just doing it. You either do it or you suffer. So.
So
we're just-
actually,
yeah.
I don't think I should say it, but I'm really thankful that COVID happens and
I know what you
we
mean.
have time to really think.
Exactly. It's prompted just a huge rethink, and probably we were headed this way somehow on the earth, right? And maybe COVID is the kindest way it could have happened, because it could have been much, much worse. There are a lot of disasters.
Exactly.
Right.
It's like the best disaster that could happen.
Exactly. And the solidarity that I saw here was amazing.
Right.
You mentioned your staff. So, where do your staff come from?
All right, I'll take this because it's my job in the
Right.
restaurant, right?
Right.
So, most right? Everyone here comes from very humble background.
Okay.
Most of them come from the countryside.
Yes.
I don't think they have a really good socio-economic background.
Mm-hmm.
That's the beauty of it. So we took them really young. So our sous chef, when we hired him, he was 18.
Wow, what a great opportunity for him.
Yeah. So now he's still working with us
Fantastic.
and growing and yeah.
And that seamless transition from the rural Vietnam way of life, even though it's lacking in some opportunities and certainly sometimes very challenging, I'm sure they have that knowledge that can be applied so well here about the food and the natural environment as well.
Actually, it's not always easy.
No?
Actually, it's never been easy because
Okay.
Trying to tell someone that you have potential and you can be great to someone who doesn't believe, so it's really hard.
Yeah.
Even ourselves.
I see. Believing in yourself.
Yes.
Believing
even
in
us.
yourself.
Technically, we are from like this is a small city in
Sure.
Vietnam, and Vietnam is like a developing country. And
Sure.
we even not from the good part of the city, something like that.
Okay.
So,
There's a not good part? No, it's a beautiful
well,
city. I'm just joking.
according to
I
the
know. According to
society.
perceptions, right?
So we know firsthand that it's really hard to believe in ourselves.
And so much of life is about belief, right?
Yes,
Right.
The power of belief is
The power of
is
belief.
Like, it's crazy.
Immense.
Yeah.
It's immense.
Right.
But because the concept is about proving that, right? And they have the chance to work in a place that the purpose is to make them believe that. So
that what they have from their life and that's been handed down to them has value.
Yes. So
Not that they
everything
have to conform.
Everything that they do is to show that they should believe in themselves.
Right. Can you tell us a little bit about how you met this chef? First of all, which chef is it?
So it was Chef Dominique Crenn from San Francisco.
Crenn, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
At that time, she got 2 Michelin stars
Yeah.
and be the best female chef in the world. I think 2 years before that.
Wow.
But anyway, we didn't know who she was. Yeah.
Right.
I think I read about her a few times. So at the back of my mind, I knew who she is, but Leon had no idea at that time.
That's right.
For me, it's like I've seen this name before. I should Google it just to double check.
Right.
But on that day, the day that they booked, we had a huge group
Coming in the evening.
and we only open in the evening. So Leon replied, "I'm sorry, we cannot take your reservation."
Sure.
And then later that day, I found out who she is.
Yeah.
So in a panic, I told Leon to somehow reverse that email.
Right. It doesn't happen every day.
And successfully we could. So thank God.
We did a special lunch for we never open for lunch.
Right. Yeah, you're not open for lunch normally, but
also not only because it's a accomplished chef and accomplished restaurant, but the fact that she's female chef and what she does is really genuine. We can feel that from her cuisine.
Right.
And
so she has a similar point of view about cuisine.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Excellent.
It's too good an opportunity to
you
mix.
couldn't let that escape.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. And she, it looks like she really enjoyed the meal from the photos that you have, and that's wonderful. That must have been such a great moment for you.
What I personally find inspiring about her is the fact that despite being French herself, she always looks out for other types of cuisine and how people eat, and she really was encouraging.
She was open-minded and embraced what you have.
It's like of all the chefs that we could have met, she's like the perfect kind of mentor for us to believe in the direction that we are going.
Right.
And she's a wonderful human being. Like we really respect her, and she's such a big inspiration for us, even before and now, like before and after.
Right. She continues to be an important inspiration.
So right now we are much more comfortable about putting local stuff on the table.
Right.
But it took me a lot of courage.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, all right, how can I make a dish that competes or on the same league with a Kobe Wagyu A5?
Oh sure. Of course,
something like that.
Of course.
Again, to believe in ourselves is a different
Of course,
thing.
put it into practice. I understand. How is you've got local clientele, obviously, right?
Yes.
Coming in during the COVID period. Have you also adjusted the menu based on that? The fact that it's local people?
We tried to in the first phase of COVID. It didn't work out because we tried to change the menu format and the approach to be more appealing to locals.
Okay.
But
somehow we lost ourselves in the
Yeah.
process.
Okay,
Yes.
because it's a delicate balance
Yeah,
of
yeah.
something
yes.
something that's a twist on the local and something that is what
Yeah.
they are used to, right?
Yeah.
So, what was wrong about your approach at that point?
I think there's nothing wrong with this.
Okay.
But it came to our attention that our staff didn't like it. They told us things that we never thought would happen, but we felt very proud at the time.
Okay.
Was that they told us this is not the Nén that they
yes.
came to love.
The inspired restaurant.
Yeah.
It was too conformist
Yeah.
to something else.
Too commercial.
Too commercial.
Yeah.
Right.
But we have to say that before that we changed the menu so that we will have more guests, so that we can pay them. You know?
Of course.
It's all for the
There was
staff.
there
It's
was a
for the staff.
pragmatism,
So,
right?
but then came a day the staff told us that I want to quit because I don't want to serve
Oh wow.
this menu. So I like.
Oh my
"But,
goodness.
Okay, we did it for you, but you don't like it. Then easy. We just.
That's amazing.
Yeah, just.
So their belief in the product or the belief in the creation and the inspiration surpassed their desire for a pragmatic
Yeah.
financial
Yeah.
And
solution.
we are so proud at that
That's
moment.
wonderful.
Even
That's
though
such
we.
great validation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was July.
Right.
So we then conveniently we were hit with a
the
second
next-
lockdown.
So
Oh,
conveniently,
that's right,
the next
that's right.
day. So
Yeah.
at that day, we were thinking how to stop
Right.
a menu that we just advertised. We just opened, like we just started like a
month
month
ago.
Oh,
how
yes.
to stop? But then conveniently, the next day, Danang had the second lockdown.
Yeah.
So it's worked. It has continued to work, right?
Yeah. So we closed and from July until
August.
November. November we start.
After the second lockdown, we had many typhoons. It's like it's
Right.
crazy
yeah.
this year,
I
right?
remember.
You were in the area, right?
I was here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was here. I couldn't go biking very much. Yeah. It was difficult. Yeah.
Then at one point we told each other that we need to work. We can't just stay put for too long.
Sure,
It's
sure.
not good for us, for the team, and for our customers
Exactly,
and everything
exactly.
else. So I thought that if people cannot come here to eat, really eat, then I will let them eat by seeing. you
Right,
know?
right, right.
Yeah, so we can just make
Oh.
a good menu and we write about it.
Right.
So if you cannot
Yes.
come here, you can enjoy our writing and can imagine how good it is.
And that's
Yeah.
what happened for me. I've been following you for a very long time. I think over a year now.
Right.
I've been
Thank
looking at
you.
your posts and your website. So even though you don't know that those things are having an effect, they are. They're out there and they're germinating. So it's really important. So I'm so happy that you've been persisting and persevering through this tough time.
You can see that we struggle a lot in between. We try different things and it work out.
Sure,
You can
sure.
see that. But eventually we come back to who we are and better, I think.
That's wonderful.
So right
Yeah.
now we are in a very comfortable spot.
That's
so
great.
things are still very challenging, I must say.
Sure, sure.
But we have our team going and our creativity flowing. We made
Yeah.
a lot of
And
progress.
we took the financial factor from the beginning out. So let's just make a menu and we don't expect any guests coming.
Sure.
Our goal is to let people see how good the menu is.
What you would do, like free of any restrictions, and
Right.
this is
Yes,
it.
yes.
and it's probably better than ever because
Yeah.
you just
It's,
yeah.
I think it's the best menu that we delivered.
All right, so your current creation that has been so liberated by this strange time we live in that
Yes.
has allowed for so much creativity is the meant to be, as in honeybee,
Right.
the meant to be menu. So can you walk me through it? Maybe each, it's a 7-course meal, and you've got so many different kinds of honey, beeswax, bee larvae involved. So the very first dish is bee larvae mousse, freshwater shrimp infused in garlic oil, and pork gelatin. So how did you get that idea?
Let me talk about the overall of
Okay.
the menu a
The
little
menu.
bit.
The
So
concept.
Summer can go to the details.
Sure, sure.
So the idea of the menu started when the typhoon came to Da Nang. So we found out that in one of these trees, I forgot which, we had a
No, outside.
okay outside we have a beehive on
Oh.
the tree.
I see,
and
I see.
and my mom said that if we leave them be,
Yeah.
right,
They die.
they will die because of the typhoon.
Oh, right.
So we proceed to move them inside.
You moved the hive?
Yeah, but
Oh.
we didn't do it. We didn't know how to do it, right?
Okay, yeah.
So we asked a pair of beekeepers
Beekeepers, yeah.
to come and do it for us.
Right.
And our eldest daughter Aria, she had an absolutely blast with it. Play with the beehive and watching the
Amazing.
bees and stuff.
Wow.
And it's a very enlightening in a way experience.
Yeah.
We talked to them, and we certainly found out that there's so many interesting things about bees and many ingredients, components
Right.
that we never heard of before. So we know honey, and that's it.
Sure.
So before that, that day, we wanted to make a themed menu,
A themed menu.
but we just didn't decide on what theme.
Which theme? Yeah.
But after that, I say, okay, this is really interesting, right? Let's make
Right.
a menu about it. And the intention from the beginning was kindness, because his mom was so kind to
To the
move
bees.
it.
Oh,
to
yeah,
the
that's
bees,
true.
right?
That's true.
Right.
And the bees probably didn't realize that they were being helped.
Yeah.
Well, in the end, I don't think we really helped them.
Right.
They didn't like the
Okay,
place,
that's
the
right.
new place anyway. But
They
Okay.
moved eventually.
You tried.
we tried
Yeah.
with good intention.
Yes.
So that's the whole point of the menu. We
Right.
want to show people that it's so exciting about the bees,
Sure.
and if we are kind to them, they will teach us about them.
Yes.
It's
That
the
makes
whole
sense.
point of the menu.
Right.
And because it's so coincident, so it's meant to be in a way.
Right. It's meant to be.
But
Yeah. Clearly.
It's meant to be bee.
Right. It's meant to be with bees. The hive just appearing outside your restaurant, it's like a sign. Like,
Yeah,
here
yeah.
I am, do this.
Yeah.
And so, is honey an important part of traditional Vietnamese cuisine? And are bees? No? So this is something you've integrated into other things that exist here.
I think the menu was very challenging to make
Okay.
because none of these ingredients are typically used.
Right.
Actually, we didn't. As Vietnamese, we don't really know about bees or
Okay.
even honey.
Right.
It's expensive, so people don't use. It's
Beekeepers.
expensive to cook with.
Oh,
So normally
right.
people don't use honey.
Because you have to use quantities.
And so to us, honey is something really foreign.
Okay.
Like rich countries use honey, not Vietnam.
You're not just using the honey, you're using other parts, and you're also processing the honey differently. But first of all, you have local beekeepers, right, that you've partnered with?
Yes.
Tell me about them. Who are they?
Okay, so before the meant to be menu,
Yeah.
I found out I came across an advertisement on Facebook
Right.
about this company. I shouldn't say it's a company, it's a very small business
Right.
that selling honey.
Okay.
And somehow it caught my attention, and I contacted them, and I learned that this guy, I think he's 1 year older than me,
Okay.
and he's overtaking his family business for many years, 30,
I
40
see.
years.
Yeah.
Now his parents are old, and he's taking over.
And this is a honey bee business.
Yeah. So
Beekeeping business.
I talked to him because he's in the same age
Right.
with me. Is the story just keep developing.
Wonderful. Same age, and it's also, is it a couple? A husband,
It is,
wife
yeah.
team?
We
Like,
didn't know at that time, but
Yeah, we didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the nice
It's
photo.
meant to be.
Yeah, meant to be also. So
Yes.
it's like almost a parallel
It's-
thing.
it's-
So you use the larvae of the bees. How do you integrate that?
Okay, so the thing about bee larvae is we do eat them. In fact,
In Vietnam, they
in
are.
Vietnam,
Yes.
So that was
yes.
the more common thing, was the larvae
Yes,
are
yes,
eaten,
yes.
not
so
the honey.
it's even more popular than honey.
Right. That was the more common one.
But it's like
Okay.
the scariest part of.
For us, certainly for Westerners, it's not
For
normal.
us as well.
For you too? Like
I
when
think
you're a
it's
child?
pretty
do you think-
exotic.
It's exotic for
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
but it's
I
more
don't
common
enjoy
than honey.
eating.
I think
Okay.
when in the past,
Yeah.
it's more popular than it is right now.
Right.
Because as we get accustomed to globalization,
Sure.
those kind of food is kind of is getting
They
more
get
and more
pushed to the fringe,
exotic.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's true.
And also the experience of eating the lave is not really nice.
So how have you made it nice? How have you
I
changed?
mean, you have to understand why it's not nice, because when you eat the whole thing,
Yeah.
at first it looks not nice. It looks like worms,
Oh,
And
okay.
then when you
Yeah.
eat, it will ooze out.
Oh,
thing
so the
inside.
texture
inside.
can be
So
freaky.
that feeling is not nice.
Okay.
And then the thing inside is really condensed.
Okay.
It's really strong.
I
the
see.
smell and the taste.
Oh,
It's
okay.
really strong.
Very intense.
So I want to use that, but somehow to soften all of those
Sure.
edges.
Right.
So at
Right.
first, I have to make it appear completely different, like in
Okay.
a normal way, so people
I see.
don't
Yeah.
see the image.
Mhm.
And then the taste, I have to infuse that with cream,
Oh, I see.
right? So
Yeah.
it's lighter, it's not as condensed.
Mhm.
And then I use the siphon to put air in,
Oh,
so
I see.
that it's not too strong anymore.
Oh, wow.
So at the end you can still have the taste of bilava. You can smell it, but it's like just a tiny bit of the real version.
Wow, it's been refined and
Yeah.
So
just made.
the taste of that is really creamy, fatty, and nutty
Okay.
in a way.
Wow.
But it's eating that in its original form can be overwhelming.
That sounds delicious. Yeah. And you have other forms of honey as well. For example, you have black garlic honey and you have fermented honey, right?
Yes.
And mint honey. Tell me about fermented honey. Was that your idea, or where did that
No,
come from?
Just Google,
Okay, you searched. Okay.
So it's just like a lot of techniques involved with the whole honey thing.
Sure.
But people
Yeah.
take it for granted and just eat honey as honey.
Uh-huh,
But actually,
yeah.
other chefs, they have gone crazy with
So many possibilities.
Yeah. But it got lost in the way because people don't care about honey. It's
Yeah.
about bees, so they don't play with it. But actually, it's really simple, easy to make at home. But we just need to know about it.
Okay, and Vietnam has a real tradition of fermented foods, like the
Yes.
fish
Yes,
sauces,
yes.
the fermented shrimp,
Exactly.
everything. So it kind of fits into that as well, right?
Exactly. And
Right.
It's so easy.
Great.
You can do it at home. Just
Right,
put
just-
any fruits in and just leave them.
And
be.
just leave them. That's it's not too complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to use it properly, I'm sure is something that takes so much knowledge and care.
Yeah.
And this is wonderful. And then just tell me about the beeswax. That was really intriguing. I read your blog post on your website about that.
Yes. So because this menu is so challenging,
Right.
I don't want to use honey the entire menu, of course. So I have to research a lot, and
Yeah.
somehow the beeswax came to mind, and then that this one chef in Austria, I think.
Yeah.
He invented this technique in
Wow.
which he's like just mold, like what? How do you say it?
He cooked
Cooked.
a piece of fish using beeswax.
Yeah, molten
Wow.
beeswax.
Molten beeswax.
Yes.
So what does the molten beeswax do to the fish? How does it?
So it's kind of like sous vide, so fish is very delicate. So it's easy to overcook it, right? So
Right.
you have to keep it at the perfect temperature.
Right.
So that's what beeswax do.
I
It
see.
solidify under 60 degrees,
Oh, I see.
Celsius, right? We're talking
Celsius.
Celsius.
Okay, so
Um,
60 Celsius.
and above 90 it will lose all of its aroma.
Oh,
So,
okay.
But the space in between is perfect to cook fish.
Oh, I
You
see.
just need to liquefy it.
Liquefy it.
No, you cook it,
Right.
and then above 60 degrees it
Uh-huh.
will melt.
The beeswax will melt.
So at about 70 degrees it's perfect.
Oh,
to
right.
cook the fish.
Which is exactly what the fish is. So it's the temperatures kind of align. Okay.
And a bonus is the bee's aroma.
Wow.
So you cook a piece of fish perfectly
Yeah.
with the smell of the bees.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, it's
I
amazing.
can't wait to try it. I can't wait to try this whole menu. It really looks amazing. I wish you tons of luck as we continue this journey of COVID and what comes next. And I'm really excited to come back many times in the future. So thank you very much for introducing me to your wonderful restaurant.
Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you.
That's great.
All right.